Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the NERDWatch podcast. I, of course, am G Money. Welcome. It is the first show. Is it the first show of February 2017? I believe it is. We are the NERDWatch, and this is Maui Comics and Collectibles. Welcome, Facebook Live.
Right here.
Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, Akaku.
Maui Comics.
And before we get started,
wait till we start doing it in Forever 21.
We got
location.
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about.
Live from Forever 21.
Live from the rooms of Forever 21.
We got a lot to talk about this week. So before we get started, though, let me introduce my compatriots this evening. To my right, the man who is all the way back. He's back finally from his 2-month hiatus. Couldn't find time to do his haircut.
I'm growing it out so I can do the Alika bun.
But I do have a feeling that that's because I think he's trolling for patronage of his comic books at cons.
By looking homeless?
By looking homeless. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, comic artist extraordinaire, local comic book artist. He's been out because he's been doing a lot of Comic Cons.
He does that book, Spider Monkey Death Wish.
That's it. That's something like that. The one and only Todd Bernardi's in the house. Also joining us this evening, to his right is the one and only punk rock superstar, Gannon, horror aficionado, is in the house as well. And then to his right is the gaming guru and now comic book writer.
Incredible.
Yeah, the one and only
we've been seeing the mock-up.
Phormat.
Is it official? Nothing's been published yet?
Yeah, nothing's been posted. I'm not a writer. I'm just writing.
But you're writing. You're writing, so technically,
let's not split hairs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm a comic writer too. Then
don't split.
I used to write someone else 5.
Yeah, don't split short hairs. And then to his right is the man,
also a comic book writer,
the chairman of the comic book board. He is the owner of Maui Comics and Collectibles. It is the one and only Alika in the house tonight.
You're a comic writer, and you're a comic writer.
That's right.
Thanks, Oprah.
If Bendis can do it, anybody can.
Well, gentlemen, before we get started, I just wanted to let you guys know that you can always download this podcast on iTunes and on Audio
Why
Boom.
would you?
Unless society falls and infrastructure crumbles and there's no electricity
What do you mean if?
or internet.
That's right.
What do you mean if?
When?
So download
If we get the power running again, our podcast is what's going to lead the new generation.
Just to let you guys know now, society crumbles. We'll still be here doing this.
There's a podcast. There's a podcast buried in Siberia somewhere.
What else
the
are we gonna
NERDWatch
do?
there?
Well, nice. Well, getting back to the point,
You ever seen
download us.
artificial intelligence? It'd be just like that.
Download us on iTunes and on Audio Boom. That's where you can download our podcast. Also, you can like us on our Facebook at facebook.com/NERDWatch. You can follow us on Twitter at NERDWatchNation. We're as controversial as President Trump is on our Twitter.
Whoa.
Just because you keep
Hold on a second.
retweeting President Trump.
Hold on a second.
Oh, is that what it is?
The NERDWatch is basically Trump's retweet station.
Retweet station.
None of our facts are alternative.
Okay,
let's relax on that.
Hey, listen, we are not.
The alternative around here is our
That's
music.
right. We are
Gannon?
alternative
Right,
facts.
Gannon? You love alternative music.
I love it.
Of course, follow
My
us on
Chemical
Twitter
Romance.
and
Oh,
NERDWatch
so good.
Nation. Follow us on
None of our facts are alternative. They're just made up.
Follow us on Instagram at _NERDWatch. And please do us all a favor if you can. If you like the show, please feel free to join us on patreon.com/NERDWatch. Got some cool rewards for you. Thank you guys so much for donating to the show to improve our little local podcast. And I want to send a big shout out to Brian Revel. He donated on the Patreon page to the NERDWatch. So big
and
ups.
if you guys want to thank that action, then you can donate to Brian Revel, who has a couple of Kickstarters right now.
He does have a couple of Kickstarters for the Unseen.
The Unseen.
So
another one just went today, I think.
Yeah. So
Did we donate the money he gave to us back to his?
that's essentially
really
what's going to
make
happen.
That's confidential.
We can't say. But also big shout out to his compatriot in arms on the Big Island, Mike Sato's also.
Hold on. Okay.
What?
Which reward did he go for? Because
is it the one where Todd has to dance naked in front of him?
Because I got a lot of those 8.5 by 11s.
I'm sure
I'm
you
pretty
do.
sure it was the shirtless 8.5 by 11.
It wasn't that.
I got plenty of those.
Hey, we're just giving him some shout outs. So, a little goes a long way here on the NERDWatch podcast.
Sure enough.
And of course, we certainly appreciate that, Brian. Thanks for the support. We
Thank
really
you for
appreciate
paying for ad space.
we really appreciate that. It's fantastic. Anyway,
you, true believer.
gentlemen, we are just a couple days away from, or a couple days out from the most stunning Super Bowl in history, in NFL history.
Why are we talking about that on NerdWatch?
Well, that's because
This isn't Sports Watch.
That's because, first of all, we're talking about it because obviously Trump's team won, but we're
Now
actually
we're bringing politics in this. Again, this is NerdWatch.
No. But here's the most important thing.
Wouldn't
The New Mexico
team be
wall
the
jumpers?
Giants?
Well, actually, what we talk about here is, of course, we talk about coming up here in just a bit because I want to get to something real quick. Just be prepared. I want to know if anybody watched the trailers that were on the
Yes.
Super Bowl. So
Most of
we'll talk a little bit about that coming up very shortly. We're going to be talking about Todd Bernardi's adventures in the mainland.
Briefly.
Very briefly.
We're going to be talking about
we're
that,
done.
and then
We're done.
and we're going to talk
I
about.
went to the mainland, and I'm done.
So we got some stuff coming up very shortly here, so stay tuned for that. But first, I do want to let you guys know that you guys can patronage yourself here at Maui Comics and Collectibles at 333 Dairy Road in Kahului. It is
yourself
it is
all over the
it is
place.
your one-stop comic book and retro gaming toy shop here on Maui at 333 Dairy Road in Kahului, and he is got some great comic books, great local comics as well, and he can
It's true.
he can send
My selection is huge.
yeah, it's huge, and he can send it to you
It's so
anywhere in
big.
the world as long as you live in the United States.
The only place that matters.
That's right. That's good. At least we're building a wall around it now.
You know, Trump's approval rating's only like 30% right now, so it's like
That's
it's
awesome.
safer to pander to the Trump haters.
I know it's fun. I like it.
Are we gonna?
It's your show.
We're
G.
safe.
Your
We're safe.
show.
Are you gonna build a wall around the shop out of long boxes?
Yeah. No, what I want you to do in honor of, not wanting the wall, just leave your door open for the rest of the night. Just swing it
I
open.
love the border and door analogy. Is like, this is that, and therefore my point.
Wait,
I was like, I love that. It's like, well, think about this, G. Sometimes I leave my backpack unzippered too.
oh, do you really? Good
Write
for
a
you.
meme about that.
Good for you.
Catch me outside. How about that?
I don't even know what the hell that is. People have been doing that lately. What is that?
Are you really
It's
the only
awesome.
one that doesn't
did I
know
miss
this?
something?
She's the new I do what I like girl.
She was on
Yeah.
Dr.
I
Phil.
do what I want.
I
do
don't
what-
watch Dr. Phil. Ugh.
Yeah, but she's a meme, so you don't even have to watch the.
I've
show,
never-
girl.
She just got thrown off a plane for punching a flight attendant or something.
Oh
does
my
what she
gosh!
wants.
I have to look this up
Whatever,
after the show. I gotta look this up after the show. Does she have a name or something?
I'm
Yeah,
sure she
who
does.
Cares?
Oh, no, I just wondering.
It's
Cash me outside.
Did you say
Dr. Phil
cash
girl.
me outside?
That's her catchphrase.
Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
No, it's cash me outside.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
When I first
You're
heard
putting a lot of extra syllables.
Oh,
and
they don't need to be
consonants
there?
in
when I first heard, I thought it meant something dirty, but no, it just turns out she wants to fight somebody.
Oh, she was
Yeah,
spicy.
yeah.
I thought it was like a pirate
She's
reference.
a pugnacious 13-year-old.
or something.
Well, Brian just joined the
Whatever.
Facebook live feed. He just missed his shout out. Once again, since he just missed it.
Oh, well.
Big
I
shout
guess
out
he'll
to
just
Brian
have to
for
donate
donating to
again.
to the Patreon page. We certainly appreciate it, Brian. Thank you so much. Anyway, 333 Dairy Road in Kahului. It is Maui Comics and Collectibles. Amazing comics, amazing collectibles, and all kinds of fun retro games and stuff here at 333 Dairy Road. Every single week it is New Comic Book Wednesday here in the shop, and every Tuesday is 20% off Tuesdays. So let's find out what's happening this week.
All right. That's enough from you, G.
At Maui
All right,
Comics and
people
Collectibles.
want to know what we were teasing on the Facebook page.
Oh,
today.
I wanted to
Big
do it after
announcement.
this.
After this?
Yeah, right after your. That was my
serious?
next. That was my next thing.
I'm excited, man.
I know you're
Nobody
excited.
wants to know what the new comics
But I
are.
wanted to
They
say
wanna
that
know what the
after,
announcement
after the comic book.
Only
So they
read
can
the
stop
ones-
watching as soon
I'm
as-
only going to read the ones that I think Todd likes.
Oh man.
All new Fathom #1. Continuation of Michael Turner's classic.
That's a good one actually.
All new Wolverine #17.
Oh boo.
All-Star Batman #7. Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows 4. Black Widow 11. Dark Tower Drawing of 3. The Sailor 505. It's the final part of that.
Wait, that's all one book?
A friend.
Yeah,
Yes, that
The
is
Sailor.
one book. The Sailor. Dark Tower. Stephen King. Look it up. Dead Man Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love #3 of 3.
Ooh.
Deadpool the Duck #3 of 5.
Oh yeah.
Flash 16.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy #17. Anybody else? No?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Let's keep it to yourself. IVX #4 of 6. Jessica Jones #5. Justice League of America Rebirth #1.
Whoa.
Rebirth #1 this late in the Rebirth game.
Where Lobo's in the team.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, all right. Now I'm excited. The real Lobo.
You might be
Yeah.
the only
real
one
Lobo.
excited about that.
The real Lobo.
It's not Teen Angst Lobo.
No, it's not. It's not Prince Emo.
He
Lobo.
just verbalized his erection. He's very excited about
You're
it.
not allowed to say that on the podcast.
I am not naming the podcast that, by the way.
Verbalize the erection.
No, don't. You said it again.
Yeah,
Don't say it.
stop it.
Oh,
Kingpin #1.
What about
BONER.
verbal election?
Power Man and Iron Fist #13. Spawn #270.
Good Lord.
Suicide Squad #11.
Spawn 270.
Yep.
Wow.
Totally Awesome Hulk 16. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl #17. For some reason, I got a lot of those.
Yeah.
Unworthy Thor #4 or 5.
Something must have.
And Wonder Woman
I
#6.
think it's interesting that you're surprised by what you order.
No, it's like the quantities.
Hey,
It's
can
like
you-
there must be something going on in that issue.
Can you order me 6 Saga #43s, please?
Only if you'll take half of the Squirrel Girl shipment.
That's right.
I actually ordered it for Todd.
Well,
Yeah.
listen,
Huge
ladies and
Squirrel Girl
gentlemen, you can get all your comics here
She's
and
so
all your retro
independent.
games and toys here at 333 Dairy Road in Kahului. And if I'm not mistaken, next month, the very beginning of next month, you can also be able to get your first
Spit it out,
look
G.
at possibly somebody maybe getting their hands. I heard a rumor that somebody may be getting their hands on a Nintendo Switch in this store. Is that correct?
Yes, that's totally correct.
Wow, amazing, awesome.
Not me. Don't look at me.
It's not you. Oh, somebody is. Okay.
It's me.
Well, listen, 333 Dairy Road, Kahului. It's Maui Comics and Collectibles. And we've been teasing, or I should say, the one and only Alika has been teasing a special announcement for this show tonight for Maui Comics and Collectibles. There is something very special, or someone very special, that we should be looking forward to. Is that correct, Alika?
Yes, I've got a very special announcement thanks to a friend of the show, Amy Tokuda.
Yes.
She's always talking to artists and writers all over the country.
Sure.
Well-renowned artists, and I'm always impressed with the people she gets to talk to. And thanks to her, a lot of really good artists and writers have stopped by the store.
Right.
And thanks to her efforts and her friendliness to everybody.
Yes.
And her support of our store. So thank you very much, Amy. She got a writer to come to the store in August, David Michelini.
Very cool.
So if that sounds familiar to anybody,
You have no idea who that is, DG.
What? I mean,
You have no idea who
He
that is.
draws the pictures in the little boxes.
he said
He
writer,
doesn't
though.
draw.
I know what
I
the
know,
difference
just
between an
kidding.
artist and a writer is now. So,
Oh, you do?
you learn the difference?
yeah, I learned the difference.
No,
You've
no.
progressed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Who is that? 'Cause
So,
I just
I'm
think
gonna-
of the Michelin Man.
I'm going to read a quick bio. David Michelini has been a professional writer for over 40 years. He has written more than 600 comic book stories, Iron Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Avengers, etc., in which he created or co-created several characters. Venom, for one of them.
Wow.
He created James Rhodey Rhodes, Scott Lang, our current Ant-Man, hello,
Yeah.
that have been featured in major motion pictures. His comic book efforts have spanned genres from westerns to war to horror to superhero. In addition to comics work, David has published 2 novels and has had short stories published in anthologies Werewolves, Dark Moon Rising, and periodicals like Spider-Man Magazine, and his written scripts for the Nicktoons animated series Iron Man Armored Adventures. His comic book biography of Mother Teresa won the Catholic Book Award. G.
Wow.
Supposed man of God you are.
Yeah, it's just the Catholics I don't like. No, I'm just kidding.
Great. So he does
Keep
the
that to
show.
yourself.
Yeah,
You bigot.
just kidding.
Yeah. Thanks for the bigotry, buddy.
No problem.
Thanks for making him not want to come on.
I know,
show.
right? He's not going to want to come.
And his work on the acclaimed Iron Man Demon in the Bottle saga. That comic book right there that I have listed for $100 or some odd dollars up there.
Now it's 200 because he's coming.
Because he's coming, right? Because he's going to sign it.
Because he's going to sign it.
Was awarded a certificate of merit from the prestigious Anti-Alcoholism Foundation. He's still waiting to win an Oscar. That's the last sentence. So he's a very ambitious
So
guy.
he wrote his own bio.
Yeah.
So Michelini did the Armored Adventures, the one that was on
The
television
Nickelodeon
for a
one.
Showtime.
It was
I remember
Nicktoons.
seeing that. I didn't know. I only watched maybe an episode or two, but yeah, that's the only thing I remember seeing. That'll be interesting. I mean, talking about the origins of Venom and things like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, he's definitely had a long career.
I
with
want to know what he
Marvel.
thinks about Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, it's a good point. Good point.
I mean, he probably doesn't even care.
I'm a guy that's a little more
he's-
forgivable for Spider-Man 3, though.
He's written so many iconic stories. It's probably not like, ooh, they did this.
Every time I think about it, I just think that Sam Raimi was like, his hands were tied. Like, he had to do some things in that movie that the studio wanted him to
Sure,
do.
yeah.
So it was kind of. So I give it.
I don't hate Sam Raimi for Spider-Man.
No, I don't either.
Not
That's
at
the
all.
thing is, I don't hate him at all for it. And I
There
think
were
that
still good villains in that
You
movie.
could tell that was what we forced upon him.
Sandman
Yeah.
was 3, right?
Who forced emo Tobey Maguire on him?
That was terrible.
I think.
That's
Well,
what I
I think
wanna
that was the thing is that they forced
Maybe
the whole
Tobey Maguire forced it on.
from the
He's
industry.
like, I can dance. Watch.
Isn't the story that Sony forced him to have Venom in the movie because people were
Either that or
demanding it?
emo Peter Parker with
Yeah.
Sam Raimi mocking the Venom thing. Be like,
That would've
oh,
been-
you want me to do Venom? Well, I'm going to do this then.
That would have been cool. So I
I'm going to do the Sam Raimi version of Venom, and this is how Peter Parker acts with his
right.
in my Spider-Man movies.
Well, that's a cool get for Maui Comics and Collectibles there, Alika.
most of-
Yeah, and
Awesome.
big thanks to Amy.
Fantastic.
Who's also helping out a good. She is the one who brought to our attention Theo Lee
of course,
when we first opened. So that was also.
and he
She's always helping us out.
draws. He's a drawer.
He's a total. He's a total
That
drawer.
guy,
He's a drawer guy.
he doesn't suck.
He doesn't suck at all. So hang on a second. So do we have a date on when he should be here?
August.
He'll be here in August. Fantastic.
I'll keep you
Man, he
updated.
said that already.
I'll keep you updated.
All right, keep me
You
updated.
stupid man.
Keep us updated. Fantastic. We're gonna get an opportunity to hopefully have him on the show, which would be fantastic
If you're lucky.
if we're lucky.
Not after that Catholic remark.
I know, right?
man.
That's right.
That's a no.
That's right. He's gonna be like,
Thanks for screwing the pooch on
yeah,
that
screw
one.
that one up.
Catholics
Oh
are
man.
the only Christians I don't like. That's how it sounded. That's
Is that
how
what it
that's
sounded like?
you
Hey,
know,
thanks,
they're-
Todd, for replaying that.
Yeah.
Though. I appreciate that.
Well, it's
Anyway.
already recorded on the internet. It's not like people don't know how to rewind a podcast.
That's right. Well, listen.
Rewind a podcast.
I bet you our generation is going to be the last generation to use the word rewind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when it comes up in a song, kids are going to be like, "What is rewind?"
Rewind.
What is rewind?
What do they call? What do they call it now when you do it?
It'd be
It's called
scrolling.
scrubbing or
Scrolling.
I heard it's scrubbing.
No.
You scrub backwards
Who
or scrub
says
forwards.
that?
I don't know, but that's what every time I look at the thing, it's
That's
always like you
bathing
scrub forward or scrub
terminology.
backwards.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's what I've heard. Anyway, listen.
You hear all the wrong
If the
stuff.
kids are really saying that, then that's dumb.
Yeah, they say scrub
Man,
forward
those
or backwards.
kids need to scrub themselves.
Yeah.
Those kids are stupid.
Those dirty,
Amy
filthy
threw
kids.
you a bone. David Michelini will appear on Nerd.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you, Amy. Love you. Anyway, I do want to get into, before it gets too crazy around here, I do want to get into Todd Bernardi's amazing 2-month hiatus from the show.
It's not that bad. Like we're not gonna talk that
All
long.
right,
about
let's talk about some adventures. Let's talk about your con adventures in the mainland. Where'd you go? Who'd you do? What'd you do?
I went to Oregon and Colorado and New Mexico. And it
Interesting.
was a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Did you
And he met up with one of our old friends, Joe Rubenstein.
Yeah, Joe was at the con.
Fantastic.
He's great.
So you weren't going up there to protest or anything like that in Oregon or Mexico. Good. Just checking.
The protest, the first. Well,
I knew it'd be there. I knew it. I knew you'd be close.
no, it's funny. I mean, I didn't think that the protest was going to be like that big of a deal, but like I was in Telluride, Colorado for a wedding, and and that town is like 4,000 people sopping wet. Like I mean, it's a tiny town, and 3,500 of them were at the protest.
That's hilarious.
They were like, that was a big deal.
Were they protesting the Super Bowl?
No, they were protesting. That was the Women's March.
The Women's March thing, and that place is as white as snow up there. The residents.
They were protesting the wedding that he was attending.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't want Todd Bernardi.
And it was. I was getting.
We've seen him on that podcast.
I was getting coffee at a coffee shop, and I was listening to this woman try to explain the Women's March to her daughter. And
was it cringeworthy?
No, it wasn't that bad. It was just
good.
that our president doesn't care about women's rights. I mean, it was like.
Goodness gracious. Anyway, so you were in Telluride?
Do you know it's true?
That's too funny though.
I didn't do anything comic book related in Telluride, so we can gloss over that.
Okay, so where did you go? What Comic Cons did you visit?
I did the Albuquerque Comic Con in
Albuquerque,
New Mexico.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and that was a pretty decent convention. They probably had 15 or 20,000 people there, and it was a good show.
Oh, cool.
It's like the 7th, maybe the 8th or 9th year that they've done
Did you?
it.
I mean, other than your comics, which you were pushing, did you meet anybody special? Did you get your hands on any good comics? What happened?
I got to meet Michael Beck from the Warriors, who played a character named Swan.
More
Who
importantly,
Swan is named after?
More importantly, Michael Beck from Xanadu.
Yeah, also from Xanadu.
Yeah, it's more.
Swan named after that character too?
Yes.
Swan Xanadu Kaho'okele. Swan's homesick right now, in case you guys are wondering.
Yeah.
So I hope you get better soon.
I hope you get better.
Please, Swan.
When you get better, I might have something for you, Swan.
Nice.
Yeah, that autograph.
Get better soon, Swan, or else the shop's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
And then I got to meet Jay Lee, who used to do a comic book called Hell Shock, and he's Superman, Batman, and he works for DC predominantly right now. He signed all my comics, and I got to talk to him. He was sitting next to George Perez, Rob Liefeld, and Joe Rubenstein. And so those were they're cool guys. It was kind of like this brain trust that they had up at the front.
Cool.
And right next to, then down the aisle a little way, I got to meet Shelby Robertson, who is the inker for the new Deadpool comic, the graphic novel that's coming out from Marvel. Cool. Super nice guy, and he dug my stuff too, so that it was really nice to meet him.
He reshared it on Instagram, right?
Yeah, he shared some stuff on Instagram. I got
nice.
Some
good. You got some good. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That thing that artists love to hate, exposure.
It's true.
Yeah, that's
good Lord, it's so true.
Yeah. And then you went to the ABQ Comic Con, and you did another con, right?
No, that was
that the big con? How big was it?
It was 3 days. It was probably, it was a good size event. Like I don't really know what the attendance was, but it was there was a lot of really cool, interesting people there. There were a lot of good costumes there. They had Karate Kid there. They had Ralph Macchio and
for real, like Ralph Macchio was there.
Yeah.
What?
And then the Sensei and Billy Zabka was also.
You mean Martin Kove was there?
Yeah, Martin Kove was there. Yeah.
And what's his name?
Billy
Zabka. You mean what?
And
Johnny?
Johnny was there.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
or the hero of Karate Kid.
Was the sensei constantly just trying to get Johnny to beat up Ralph Macchio?
He just kept everybody
standing behind him with his arms crossed.
The enemy deserves no mercy.
Sweep the legs. And people just kept screaming that. It was crazy.
Ralph Macchio was in the past already.
And like every 5 minutes, finish him! Finish him!
Ralph is just like drinking his coffee. He's like, what the hell, man? It's been 30 years.
That's awesome.
Shannon Purser was there, who played Barb from Stranger Things. She was cool. She was fun to talk to.
Barb, everyone's favorite dead girl.
And as we all know,
spoilers.
That was spoiled for. Or it wasn't spoiled.
Well, she's coming back in season 2. That's that big creature in the clouds. That's Barb.
The season 2 trailer for Stranger Things was out in the Super Bowl.
Amazing.
Coming back on Halloween. Crazy.
Yeah. Kids wearing Ghostbuster costumes. So last season was D&D. This season is they're busting ghosts.
They're busting ghosts. Yeah.
You know, when the still came out for that picture, I was looking at it, I was just like, I don't remember seeing patches for outfits that perfect in 84.
They were perfect.
They were so good.
Well, they were
a little too good for 1984. I never could find that anywhere back in 1984.
Because they're going to be Ghostbusters.
Those proton packs are awesome.
Yeah, actually, they're jumping forward in a couple of years, I think.
1 year.
Is it 1 year? Or
just 1 year.
It's
just 1
year.
Okay, gotcha.
I know once they hit like age 16 and they get their driver's license, they get the black El Camino.
Nice.
And cruise around and.
That's awesome. Well, that's awesome, man.
I don't think he knows what you're referencing.
I'm so excited
That's
to
why
get a chance
he's changing the subject.
No, I want to finish up with Todd first, really quick. I'm so excited.
They're already done.
Todd will never finish.
I know they're already done.
They're already finished.
I'm so excited that you got a chance to do the Comic-Con. I hope I hope you had a chance to rep the NERDWatch a bit.
I wore the T-shirt. Talked about the podcast.
Yeah, because he traveled all across the country just to talk about our podcast.
Nice. I'm glad he did.
That's what he wanted. That's what he did it for.
I'm glad he did.
When people ask me what I do, I tell them I podcast, but then I also draw comics.
I'm a podcaster, but here's a comic I kind of do.
Yeah, exactly.
Really quick, how's the folks? I know you get to see them, right?
Folks.
Yeah, they were. Well, I got to meet family that I've never met before.
You have a family.
I had two new nieces that I hadn't met. My brother's got a 3-year-old and a 4-month-old. And
older or younger brother?
Younger brother.
Oh, younger brother.
And so it was great to see the kids play together because they never met. So
right, your daughter,
it's
and that's
weird
cool.
to think that there are a group of people out there responsible for releasing you.
I know, out into the wild.
But there's actually people we can hold responsible for this.
they're also big fans of the show. So it's,
yeah.
What's up, Bernardes?
Yes, I got a chance to talk to Mom. She was really sweet. So yeah.
Oh yeah, Todd's mom is great. She'll never set foot in the store again, but she's great.
So I'm glad, Todd. I hope I hope that was a good reset for you, and now you're back home doing your thing.
It's like night and day. Like, you guys don't understand. On the mainland, it's really bad. I mean, people are awful. I'm really glad to be back here.
Really?
You sound like traumatized.
It's
Mom, Dad, I'm never coming home.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Trump's gonna build that wall around New Mexico. So
Yeah, once he builds that wall around Hawaii, we're
he's
screwed.
like, you know what? I don't like that it's called Mexico too, so let's build a wall around that.
it's gonna be
They showed that map of the wall that takes New Mexico too.
Yeah, it's gonna take
New, old, we don't care. It's all Mexico.
It's gonna take Nevada and California with it, and then that way those guys don't have to worry about jumping across the wall to get back to Mexico.
That's right.
Well, I'm waiting for him to build the one in the Pacific Ocean because he doesn't realize Hawaii is part of the okay, what?
No, I see where you're going with that. We're glad to have you back, Todd.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Some of us are.
Glad to be back.
All of us are glad you're.
Most of us are glad that you're back. I certainly am. But your wit and your
I've seen some things.
Yeah, your wit has been missed. So let's. You ready to talk about a little movie stuff and some
but
nerd stuff?
I haven't seen any.
I know. It's fine. It's fine.
We're gonna talk about Split, and I haven't seen it. So.
Just wing it like you normally do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you read the spoiler?
No, but I'll read it. I can look it up on the internet.
I do know that I do know.
Spoilers.
It's going to get spoiled right now.
Yeah, I
really
do
spoiling
want you to do one
yeah.
thing though, since you're back.
It's been out for like 3 or 4 weeks
What's
already.
Okay.
Todd has a job
still wanna see
tonight
it.
for the show. You have to name the podcast. I haven't had you do that in a while.
Oh,
so you're
don't
naming
let
the
you.
show. Oh man, so much.
Welcome back,
negativity.
Todd.
They verbalize disappointment.
It's not like that.
I also made sounds.
Yeah, he did. I was there.
Well, so listen, gents. Before we get into Split and all other good stuff, some interesting Super Bowl movie ads. We got to see. Thanks.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
So people tune in for.
There was. We got a new Transformer spot. We got a new. Oh, jeez. Can I finish
Optimus
first?
is the bad guy. Boo.
Transformers is going to be as good as Suicide Squad.
It's going to be as good as all the other Transformers.
We got Transformers the last night.
Hopefully
We
they
got
get the
a new.
trailer
We got an
guys to cut
extended. We got an extended trailer for Fate of the Furious. We got Guardians of the Galaxy, another extended television spot for that.
Yes.
We also got the day after the Super Bowl. Ironically enough, we got a new trailer for Wonder Woman.
Did we? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So did I know I'm missing a couple. What other movies were there?
Stranger Things,
Stranger
season
Things,
two.
season
Stranger
2,
Things,
right? We
Logan.
talked about that.
Logan. That Logan trailer, they're getting better and better.
You know what? I agree with you, but here's the thing, and this is me playing devil's advocate here. Do you think that it was a good idea for them to go for the hard R for Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Logan.
Okay.
When they show a little girl eviscerating an army, I'm pretty sure you're going to be like, they should have rated this R.
If you're gonna do one last Wolverine story, you kind of want to see him like really cut loose.
I just can't wait
Outside
for
of
the
the
intestines
PG-13
falling out of the guy's
Why?
No
stomach
pun
there.
intended.
I think that like they're gonna do. It's gonna be a big movie. I think that people are gonna be like really surprised at how actually good it is, and they're gonna maybe have to do one more.
You think so?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think there'll be one more, and it'll be Wolverines in the Deadpool sequel.
I had thoroughly been impressed with that last Logan trailer. The last 2 trailers have been very good. I am very interested to see what the dynamic is between the young girl and Logan, how that relationship's going to work out on screen. I'm kind of interested in that as well. And
I bet she's the one that kills him.
You don't even know her name, do you, G?
X-23.
Yeah.
Just don't say it
I
before
know
he-
it's X-23.
No, you don't.
We
You
all
don't.
knew it was X-23.
You didn't know
that.
You guys are dumb.
He was still calling her Nix.
Snicked. No, that was snicked. No, and I'm very interested to see how Patrick Stewart will portray kind of like a withered Xavier.
I don't think he's there. I think he's all in Logan's head.
No way.
That'd be cool.
That would be kind of
interesting.
a neat little twist.
I would love that.
Only we see him there.
That'd be
But that would
interesting.
also play into other storylines that have existed. Even in the animated X-Men Evolution, they had storylines where from the future Xavier would be contact with Wolverine. Like they would even be in different time spaces, not just different physical spaces. And the professor would be like communicating with Wolverine. And for some reason, Wolverine is receptive to it. Maybe
Interesting.
because they've spent so much time together.
Because
Your brain is
Professor
extra
can get into
dumb.
his head.
no, because his claws are also in antennae.
Makes sense.
One of the claws sticks up out of his head.
All right. So moving on from Logan, did anybody the Guardians, the new Guardians trailer? Any
Oh, killer! It looks
super
so good.
exciting, right? I thought the
The
Guardians trailer was
first
good.
appearance we've seen of Aisha, aka her, she looks incredible.
Yeah, I'm.
That like I love that. This is what like because they're talking it up big about how it's like bringing back the sci-fi space genre, and I have to like I'm very hopeful because you know in the 70s movies like even in my dreams it's like an archetypal place like you could be standing on a platform in space, you know, when you see space all around you and the platforms like floating in like even Martian cartoons
Sure.
or like other I'm trying to think of movies that have had that, but like and then you see what they have in Guardians in that throne room with Aisha, and it's exactly like that kind of thing, like the kind of things you're used to seeing in sci-fi movies.
Right. I'm really super excited for it for the new Guardians of the Galaxy. Ironically enough, the little side note: did you know that James Gunn is writing a movie? He wrote a movie that is coming out in March called The Belko Experiment.
Yeah.
Directed by Greg McLean.
Yeah, Greg McLean. It looks pretty good, man. I tell you what, I'm very excited for that. There's been a I guess somebody
like a teen horror movie?
Somebody has watched it, and I guess they said it's a cross between Battle Royale and Office Space.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
There's a trailer out, right?
Yeah.
A teaser.
Yeah,
Something.
something like
It's
that.
actually kind of old news, to be honest.
I've seen it.
I see. I didn't know that. I had no
I
idea.
only just found out about it recently.
Yeah, I just
too.
only found
It
out
came
about
out
it
a little
recently,
while
too.
back.
Interesting.
Wolverine's daughter's name is X-23 too.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah.
You're brilliant.
I just thought I'd.
Oh, and his name is Logan.
Wolverine.
His real name.
Is his first name Gabe?
No.
Oh.
What's his last name?
You're stupid.
I bet you guys don't know what his last name is because you don't love Marvel as much as I do.
Malkowitz.
No, it's not.
It's
Hewlett.
It's Wolfowitz.
No, it's not Hewlett.
Howlett.
Howlett.
His first name is James.
I got it mixed up.
James Logan Howlett.
Logan is actually the name of
Yellow
Sabretooth's dad.
spandex underwear.
That's good too. I like it. Now to move on to another trailer that on the Super Bowl that you guys aren't going to like, obviously. Transformers: The Last Night.
Why are we even talking about it again?
All right, here's why I want to talk about it.
Because everybody hates it.
Because it's official now that this is Michael Bay's last.
That's what he said on the third one.
Apparently, he's signed paperwork saying that this is it for him.
That's what he said on the third one.
Yeah.
All right.
This is
All right.
wash, rinse, repeat for
He
this
said that
guy.
the next one.
Okay, first, I mean, the guy's a joke.
He's like James Brown leaving the stage. He just keeps coming back. It's like, is this guy done yet?
Except James Brown, like you want to see James Brown
It's
come
not
back.
like we're talking
is
about
stupid.
Steven Spielberg or anybody that's actually a reputable filmmaker. That guy just makes big, dumb, stupid Hollywood films. That movie's going to make $1 gajillion, and they're going to come back and be like, hey, make another one, and here you get even more money. He's going to do it. I mean, come on.
But not
He
without
doesn't have some
ruining the
auteur kind of
Transformers.
project lined up for the next thing.
I tell you what, though.
How dare you? He made 13 hours.
First of all,
He also made Bad Boys 2.
he
It was 2 hours too long.
Snap.
Hey, he made a good movie called The Island. He also made another.
Oh,
good
that's
movie.
a good movie?
I like
Does
The
anybody
Island.
remember that movie other than
I don't
you?
remember.
Pain and Gain was really good.
I know her name is X-23.
Michael Bay did 13 Hours. That was a great
He's not
movie.
associated with that.
So that was good.
But all anybody cares about are these stupid Transformers movies.
Armageddon.
Yes.
He did Armageddon. That's a great movie.
No,
You're like,
not anymore. Back when it first came out, yeah, people love that movie. When you watch it now, it's so retarded.
That guy made The Rock.
watch it with the R word.
Whoa, watch it with the politically
boy.
correct.
What? I can't
That's
say
politically correct.
I
so
can't
can
say The Rock.
Hey, The Rock is good.
Okay.
The Rock's good.
now without
That's
paying
a great movie.
royalties.
It's a
You
great
got me all riled up about Michael Bay. So.
I know, jeez, I didn't mean to. Last but not least, we did get to see an extended trailer for Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead
movie
Men Tell No
nobody
Tales. Did you know it's called like Cortez's Revenge? I saw the thing. It said Cortez's or
It's Dan Cortez.
Cortez's Revenge.
He's the villain of the movie.
He's just continuously dunking on Jack Sparrow.
You know what's funny is that only us and those that are our age would know that.
nobody else
no
who's old
one
enough to
else is going to remember Dan Cortez.
From MTV Sports.
It's like Dan Cortez and Spuds McKenzie.
He does have that
Nobody.
Dana thing going on, so
Spuds made a
I
comeback.
assume he still dresses like he did in the 90s.
But I am not.
You notice how little Johnny Depp
Jammy
is still
Jams.
in the marketing?
Yeah, he is really not.
He's in the
marketing.
last shot of the trailer.
Yeah, and his face is covered in mud or something.
That might
Yeah.
not be mud.
That's true. It might not be.
But he's got to make these movies. I mean,
It's doo-doo,
It's
baby.
chocolate pudding, man.
because I mean,
Grow up.
I was reading this thing about how he spends like almost $2 million a month
On Guyliner?
on all kinds of stuff. Like,
Guyliner and scarves. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. He has a very extravagant lifestyle.
yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't if they had that kind of money?
Right. So, but anyway, I mean,
I
Pirates,
wouldn't know.
Let's be
Give me
honest.
that kind of money.
Pirates is. I mean, after the first one,
It looks better than the last one.
I tell you what,
Whatever the
agree.
mermaid one was, it looks way better than
Yeah, that was the last one. That was
was it? Oh.
Rising Tide or
Poland
something.
one?
Deep Tide into Deep Tide or something.
I just think people are so sick of Jack Sparrow already. I don't.
Right.
I don't think people are gonna be that.
I want a
excited
different
about it.
Jack Sparrow.
I don't know. Like I
a
said,
Johnny
I'm a
Sparrow.
huge fan of the
Reboot Jack
first
Sparrow.
one. I hated the second one. I liked the
Can
third
we
one, and I
reboot
hated
Jack
the fourth
Sparrow?
one. So
Can we get
I
Michael
know.
Bolton to reboot Jack Sparrow?
They should
Get Dan Cortez to play Jack Sparrow.
I would watch that.
I'm sure you would.
Only if Chris
Oh,
Hardwick
even
was
better,
his
dude.
villain.
Have Pauly Shore play Jack Sparrow.
Oh, have Pauly Shore play anything. I will watch the crap out of
Because
anything
it's not that much
Pauly Shore's
difference
in.
between the
Weasel.
Weasel and Jack Sparrow.
It's true. If you just
That's
watch
true,
the
There's not that much difference between the two, really. They kind of dress the same, even.
They've got the same haircut.
I could just picture him wheezing everyone's juice.
Well, listen, that was pretty much it for as far as trailers and movies for the Super Bowl.
We talk about Transformers twice, but we don't talk about Fate of the Furious. We don't talk about Stranger Things season 2. What's the matter with you?
No, but we talked about that.
John Wick, even.
John Wick 2 though is coming out next week, so it doesn't count. We're
this week
or this coming Friday.
You work in a theater, you know.
I know.
Don't you have to schedule these things?
Yeah, but also
he shows up to work, but he's not sure what they do there.
Yeah. No idea what goes on over there. But I mean, I'm moving this show along because if you can believe it, we don't have much time left.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Wow, we spend so much time on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They bring up Pauly Shore and I just go off.
There is some interesting news. Speaking of movies, there is some interesting news that just came out today that David Fincher is interested in doing the sequel to World War Z.
Not just interested. The words are very interested.
And apparently Paramount is hedging on whether or not he should do it.
It's bizarre because he's saying he wants to make for less than they made the first one.
Right.
Brad Pitt's still a star.
Mm-hmm.
The first one did what, 540 globally?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And David Fincher is a critically acclaimed director.
Yeah.
And they're like, and none of those components make sense to them.
I don't get it either.
It doesn't have
maybe
the
they don't
same
want to.
draw
Maybe they don't want to pay him. You know who'd be a good draw?
That's what I thought too. When Z1 came out,
There's one guy in the boardroom going, fast zombies.
Right. Or maybe somebody said, maybe we don't want Brad Pitt on this. Maybe we want Pauly Shore on this.
Yeah.
World War.
There's one guy just sabotaging all the sequels.
World War P.
Trying to get
Oh, Jesus.
That's the name of the podcast.
World
War P.
World War P. But no, I'm very surprised.
World War Weasel.
well,
World War Weasel, that's good too. I like
because
it.
that and Friday the 13th got pulled off the release schedule. That's how all this news
Friday
came out.
the 13th got pulled off of Paramount's
That one I'm not surprised
schedule.
though. I mean, nobody's screaming for a new Jason movie.
It's true.
No one.
That is very
Even
true.
hardcore fans just like, it's over.
Yeah,
already.
That's true. Ironically enough, Freddie is getting another documentary, which is weird.
No, but that one's more specifically about makeup.
Makeup,
The artistry
I guess,
of the
yeah.
makeup. It's not about the films, but
Right.
the makeup.
Not
All he
another
did is hold
4-hour
a
epic.
blowtorch to Robert Englund's face.
Well, I mean,
for 3 hours.
if I understand it correctly, Robert Englund is going to undergo the makeup process, and the documentary will go over the span of that.
Yeah.
I think is what it's supposed to be.
Well, it's interesting to me that getting back to what we're talking about.
That kind of documentary is only interesting to you.
When you have someone like David Fincher, who is a great director, saying, "I want to do a sequel to a movie."
I can't even believe he wants to do it.
I know, that's
to
what
be
I mean.
honest.
Like, this could be right. It could be what they call fake news, but if it is true, I mean, why would you not give that guy the opportunity to take the reins of World War Z and turn it into a good movie? I don't understand what the problem
if
is.
he's willing to do something that genre-esque,
Right.
then WB should jump in there and be like, hey, you want to make Batman?
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And just let him do whatever the hell he wants.
Absolutely.
David
totally
Fincher
agree.
on Batman would be great.
Yeah, David Fincher. I think he gets it. I think he could do it too. He could pull it off.
He would
for
never
sure.
do it, but he'd be great.
But he would definitely pull it off. I do like the names that are in the mix for that Batman movie. The Denis Villeneuve, the guy who did The Arrival. That would be awesome. He'd be good for that, I think.
Him and Matt Reeves, I think.
Matt Reeves, another good one.
Be like the
Absolutely sweet. So yeah.
Plus,
anywho,
what's his name is already doing Blade Runner, so he's already in the
mix. Yeah, he's already in the mix over there. Anywho, moving on to some more news this evening on the Nerd Watch. There's a movie that's 2 weeks old and making a killing at the box office yet again. And it'll finally go down this week with the release of Lego Batman, the movie, and also the release
who
of
knows, man?
John Wick
People
2.
still talking about that movie.
Yeah, John Wick 2, and of course, 50 Shades Darker.
That's the one I'm gonna go see.
Oh, sure you are. I'm sure
Me and Todd are going in matching leather gear.
Golly,
Isn't
man.
that the subtitle for Fences? 50 Shades Darker.
That's you just kicked him off the podcast already.
gosh,
Kick him off the
dude.
podcast.
Anyway.
That was the original title of Blade.
That's Jesus.
Jeez, man. I swear.
Oh God.
I gotta get.
You
I'm
wanted him to
associated
come
with
back.
you
That's
guys.
true. I did want
You
him back.
wanted him
Didn't
to
I?
come
I
back.
did, didn't I? Anyway,
That was a good joke.
Yeah, no,
Was that a joke or just
just offensive.
just a paragraph that was racially offensive?
Well, listen, Split is a huge moneymaker. It is basically M. Night Shyamalan's comeback as a honest to goodness filmmaker, doing gangbusters at the box office. People have been talking about this film.
He finally wiped the sweat off his forehead.
Yeah. And
Because he must have been like, oh man, one of these has got to make it.
something's got to hit.
Because if this one fails too, man, I might as well just eat a shotgun.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So.
Was that too far?
That's not an alternative.
For some reason, I'm more comfortable with that than Todd's. I don't know why.
I'm not comfortable with any of this.
I'm not saying he should. I'm not even saying that that's something you should do.
That's true.
I'm just saying that like, if I were him, I'd be feeling like that.
So you gents, with the exception of Todd,
Avatar,
because
The
he's been
Last
so
Airbender.
busy, you gents have seen Split.
Avatar is a perfect movie.
and we really need to spoil it because at this point, if you haven't seen the last 3 or 4 weeks, then that's on you now.
M. Night Shyamalan's return to form.
Brian Revel, anybody who hasn't seen Split, tune out now. We're about to spoil it.
All right, yeah, that
I
is
haven't
true.
seen it. I'm okay with spoilers.
Turn
but
down
if
your
you're not,
Facebook Live feed.
Yeah, we're about to spoil it.
Don't read our lips.
Yeah, Split. So for those of you that have seen it, really quick review. Give us a little 60-second review. What you thought?
Does one of the girls see dead people?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. So Gannon, you go. What do you think?
I liked it. It's again, if we're going to jump into spoilers, I'm not going to even try to avoid it. It's flat out an Unbreakable sequel.
Yeah.
Like you really get the impression it's just built to be a psychological thriller, and it still is, and the movie still works on its own, but over the course of the movie they start playing on the idea of something evolving to something greater.
Right.
And you kind of get the sense, okay, I can kind of see where it's going, and then flat out towards the end of the credits you find out it really is an Unbreakable sequel, and David Dunn's right there in a diner watching the villain get away or whatever. And McAvoy in particular, I think, is the thing that drives the film, because even if you stripped all those other things away, the movie is still fantastic in its own right. McAvoy has a scene towards the end of the movie where he goes through the litany of his personalities from one to the next to the next to the next, pretty much in one cut too, and it's pretty impressive. And I think you should watch the movie just for that alone. But the movie's fantastic. I really loved it.
Phormat, you had an opportunity to watch it. What'd you think?
Same. Yeah, it was really good. I went in thinking one thing and then came out and was completely blown away by the end of the credits.
Now, as far as tone, it was a lot different than his last film, which was The Visit, which also did get a lot of critical acclaim, but not as much as this latest one. So, do you think it's because of the twist that got people talking? That's what it is, right? Because anybody loves Unbreakable.
It's the curiosity factor, but the film is still...
Like the way the trailer plays out, you're already drawn in. Like, wow, this is a cool concept. And then when you actually see it play out on screen, like the intensity of it all just keeps amping up. Like, and then boom, you get the resolution and the reveal at the end, and you're just like, oh my God, I just saw...
I'm really interested because what's driving this is not necessarily the guys like us who have seen Unbreakable, but what's driving this is like the younger crowd. The movies,
It's a
I guess,
smart
box
play
office.
because now all of those kids that haven't seen Unbreakable
Will go back and
are
watch
now,
it. Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what that meant.
Because that film at this point is 17 years old.
Yeah, it is. Now, of course, there are a lot of people that love Unbreakable but hated the ending of Unbreakable, which I'm not one of those.
Oh, yeah. Why would you hate the ending? It was good.
Unbreakable was pretty solid movie.
The complaint that I had always heard about Unbreakable from the people that love the movie until that ending was they hated the fact that Dunn doesn't
kill Samuel L.
Doesn't become the superhero. He picks up a phone and dials a phone number. He dials 911.
Well, what's he supposed to do? Fight a guy
exactly.
Bones break.
That's
easily?
What I was trying to.
This isn't Superman where you're going to see an epic battle of wills.
Right. I agreed. So that was my
He's
one.
Fighting a guy called Mr. Glass.
Agreed. Do you think that this is? Do you think this is M. Night's best movie since Unbreakable?
Since?
Yeah, because you got to think about this. I mean, we got Signs, Lady in the Water, The Village.
Airbender. It's definitely better than After Earth.
I like The Last Airbender.
I think you and I are the only two that actually kind of dug The Last Airbender.
Yeah, but you only like it to be controversial.
I'm not liking it to be controversial. I've never watched the cartoon.
Everybody else hates it. That means I like it.
I've never watched the cartoon or read the comics, so that's my only exposure to it, and I thought it was good.
That's probably why you think it's good.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I have to say that...
I wholeheartedly agree.
I have to say that Split is probably his best movie since... for me, I think it'd have to be his best movie since Signs, because I actually like Signs.
The thing I have to say, if I ever met that...
Melly Gibson's
if I met that man, I would have to look him in the eye and tell him straight up, it's like, it's a very well executed twist, because even the title itself is kind of a hint as to what it is.
Well, it's interesting is that if you look at the poster for Split, the one with just James McAvoy's face, it has the cracks in the glass just like the Unbreakable
which is what I'm saying, like almost from the very beginning it's in your face, like he's hinting at it right there, but you don't know.
You don't pay attention.
You wouldn't expect this.
You're expecting something completely different.
You're just expecting a psychological thriller about a guy with multiple personalities.
Absolutely.
But
And
what
what's
he whips
interesting
on you is totally different.
And it's interesting is that the way they marketed the film, I wasn't interested, and I thought this.
That's why I didn't go see it.
No,
I read the spoiler and then I was interested.
Oh, well.
You know what? I was, just because McAvoy's a great performer, and I like the idea of him playing all these different personalities. That's what intrigued me.
Yeah, you know what's funny is
Because, to be honest, like somebody that abducts a bunch of people and kidnaps them or whatever, we've seen that 100 times,
right.
But
it's been done.
The premise
Gannon
of a
does
guy
it
with
all the
multiple
time.
personalities, that intrigued me.
What's interesting is that over here at the Maui Mall Megaplex, there was someone who came over, and I guess a lady came over and said at the premiere that she wanted to pass out flyers to everybody that's going to go see Split to let them know that multiple personality disorder is a real thing. And she
do they become invincible monsters though?
That's a good point.
Then who cares?
Right. So, but it was a real deal thing. I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy.
Did she then turn into her other personality and start cursing you out?
Well, but that's the other funny part about it, because Shyamalan got attacked for The Visit being insensitive to mental illness and seniors. Mm-hmm. He's getting flack for this one as well, because they're thinking he's making light of or
hey, it's movie gold.
The idea of mental illness yet again, but this
mocking mental illness is cinema gold.
But I mean,
Biodome.
we gotta stop being so insensitive about this stuff.
PC
It's just a movie.
Complaining about aliens.
Agreed. Anyway, just to let you guys know, if you haven't seen it yet, you should. Split is currently in theaters as we speak. You got to take a look at it. It's very good. You don't want to miss out on it if you haven't seen it yet. But anywho, we are almost out of time, if you can believe that. But before we take off, this week is the release of, like we said, 50 Shades Darker, the Lego Batman movie, and the one that I'm looking forward to, John Wick 2. That is the movie that I'll be watching this weekend.
Powerless just aired on NBC. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. I don't care what anybody else says. You're gonna hear a lot of bad reviews, but it's a very inventive, imaginative show, and you're gonna recognize things. But there's new stuff too. It's fun, and they can have fun with it because it's Earth P. There's no consequence to any of the Earths, so that you hear about Batman, Superman, whatever.
Right.
It's fun.
It's a DC property, so people are going to automatically review it poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up!
I know.
Guys, DC fans are such whiners, man.
We're not.
Just because the movies suck.
No, they don't.
I know one guy at the
If you
table
have to
will do
start
that.
your movie review justifying why you liked it, it sucked.
No, that's not true.
Really quickly as
That's
well.
what you just did, though.
I was just trolling you. I know, yeah. Well, it's DC.
Really quickly on another note,
I
nothing.
don't care what you guys say.
Nothing
I love
too
the
exciting
TV show.
came out on Blu-ray or DVD other than Justice League Dark, which I currently
I
recommend.
want to watch that really bad.
Very
I heard
good
it's
movie. It's really good. I was very surprised at how good it was. Batman hunts down a crap monster. No pun intended. It's crazy.
He's made of crap.
Okay,
Animated, right?
hold on. Crack the drug or crack when your plumber comes to your house?
Crap monster.
I think
John Le
crack.
Crappier.
Yeah, so yeah.
The namesake of the
so
toilet.
Justice League Dark
Clayface?
is what I mean. No, I recommend watching that if you haven't seen it. You
DC
should
animated, right?
pick it up. Yeah,
Gal
check it out.
Gotham from
Why are
Dogma?
you
Could be.
surprised it was so good?
It was. I was.
Animated, it was always good.
Well, the animated is great, but no, they also brought back the original actor to voice Constantine, which was very cool.
Yeah,
He
but
was
not Kevin Conroy. So
not
shame on
Kevin
them.
Conroy. They did not bring him back. But to be honest, the story made up for that.
What
so that was
original
good.
guy the voice
The
concept?
guy from the
The
television
guy from the
show.
television show.
Technically,
Oh,
the
that's
original Constantine's Keanu Reeves.
Yes, we
Hello.
know that. We know that.
He was too busy
Whoa.
with John Wick.
Speaking of Dark, Gannon had an opportunity to finish Resident Evil 7. What did you think?
I ended up kind of feeling indifferent to it once I finished it.
Really? Do you want to go back to it?
I don't know if I would really replay through it again, to be honest.
Interesting.
When the DLCs come out, I'll probably go back and fire up that disc or whatever. But so what I saw to Phormat about the beginning of the game is very cool. Because it sets up something that's a little bit different for a Resident Evil game. Like,
Right.
you go into a haunted house, and there's this weird family, and eventually it's going to start dabbling in the Resident Evil lore, but once the guns start entering the game, you're ultimately left with what all the other Resident Evil games were, but not in a good way, in my opinion. Like, it touches on all the things that, like, you got out of the last Resident Evil games that made people not like them.
Right.
All you really end up with is just a first-person Resident Evil shooter. That's really all the game turns out to be towards the end of it. It
So-
falls into the same tropes,
So was it?
but not the good ones.
But is it Resident Evil?
Not the Resident Evil I like.
Okay.
Because I would say the Resident Evil, the tail end of Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 are like the downfall of the series, and that's the territory it veers into with this one.
Okay.
Which I didn't really enjoy. There's a cool twist to the story, and like the family is cool, but once it starts getting to the infected and the black sludgy monsters and things like that, it's all the stuff that I didn't really like out of the last two games. To be
Interesting.
honest. I don't think I'd replay it again though.
Interesting.
Honestly.
All right. Well,
But to be fair, the game was designed for people with VR.
Right.
It was designed with that in mind. So perhaps the full experience is what I'm lacking. But just on the surface of it being a game in and of itself and the story, it didn't really hold me.
Well, listen, I would love to borrow that from you to give it a try. I wanted to see it.
No,
I wanted
go
to
ahead.
give it a shot.
Especially since you're not replaying it.
Yeah.
Or wanting to.
Or wanting to.
You're just
That'd
gonna
be
hold
If
on to it,
anything,
be a jerk.
Phormat should get it because he didn't get to
Oh, that's
finish
true.
it
You never
yet.
finished. Let him finish it first. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Let him finish it first for sure. Well, thank you for
What I
playing.
will
I
say-
want to now.
What I will say, if you haven't played it yet, watch out for the old lady. There's a very cool little twist about the old lady. in the story.
What would you give it? I mean, as far as a numbered score,
What, from like 1 to 5, 1 to 10?
I'd say about 1 to 10.
1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 6.
So, ooh, wow. It's average.
It's well
average.
executed, but like I said, once it falls into the lame tropes of Resident Evil, I was just like, I didn't care for it.
Oh man, well that's kind of a bummer. Well, listen, people, we are out of time this evening. I can't believe it. Thanks, guys, on Facebook Live. Thanks, guys, on YouTube and on Akaku. Next week we shall be back. Todd Bernardi will be back. Hopefully he'll catch up on some pop
Great.
culture stuff.
That Tribble will be back.
Yeah, the Tribble will be back. All the rest of the boys will be back as well. Please follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/NerdWatch. Like our page. You can follow us on Instagram at _NerdWatch and on Twitter at NerdWatch Nation. Please download our podcast at iTunes and on Audio Boom. Just look up NerdWatch. And then last but not least, please check us out on patreon.com/NerdWatch and donate to a very worthy and needy podcast.
Make your best pathetic face.
And of course, it's
like
all.
Dutch.
There we go. And of course, it's all recorded live here at Maui Comics and Collectibles at 333 Dairy Road in Kahului.
21.
That's right. Until we move into that new space.
Live at Hot Topic, the Nerd Watch.
That's right. But it's been fun. It's been real. Thanks, guys, for joining us this evening. So for Todd, for Gannon, for Phormat, and for Alika, I am G Money. Peace out. Much love, and most assuredly, always stay Bernardi. Bernardi. Sorry, I tried.
That was 50 Shades of Justice League Darker.
That's just what it was. And until next week, we say to you guys, aloha.
Crap monster.